Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am finally back here to close out my October monthly budget. I know that it is way past October and this video is definitely past due, but I still wanted to come on here and film this for you guys just so that you guys get an idea of how I would go about closing out my monthly budget. As you know, we are doing things a little bit different and we're budgeting paycheck to paycheck now. So our October month actually ended on the 27th. Or on the 26th, I should say, because a new paycheck was on the 27th. So this is going to be for September 29th through October 26th. And if you guys are interested in checking out like my October budget video, I did go ahead and get that up for you guys, as well as a mid kind of like monthly expense check-in to see how I was doing. And in that video, I actually filled most of this out for my weekly check-in. So today we're going to finish up with week 4, write out our results, and then come back to this October budget setup and kind of finish it up as well. And that will be it for this. And then I'll be able to move on to filming my November monthly budget video. So definitely stay tuned for that. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I did already go ahead and lay down the remaining stickers that I have. So we left off, I believe, on the 19th. So now we're looking at the 20th until the 26th. And before I move on, I am just quickly going to lay down these no spend stickers. And I have a no spend on the 20th, and then I also had a no spend the week prior on the 18th and the 14th, and then I have one more on the 23rd. So those are all of my no spends. I usually like to count how many no spends I have in a month, and this time I didn't have too many. So I see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 no spend days. Yes, just 6 there. So I think I am going to just mark it on my sidebar here. If you guys don't know the way that I budget and track my expenses, I like to track all of my spending in my monthly view of my Erin Condren monthly planner. So this is the key here, which lets you know what colors are what categories. And yeah, so for no spend, we had 6, like I said. So I'll just put that in there. I also went ahead and decorated a little bit of the days that are not in this month. I'm still going to leave these blank because I will need them for my November budget. But like November days in the October calendar, I kind of just put some of the October deco here, which I always offer a deco for every single month. This is what the sheet looks like. At the time that I'm filming this, I have not gotten up my January budget kits just yet, but they will be up, I believe, by the end of this week. There's just so much going on right now. But anyways, let's go ahead and go back to week 4. So in week 3 was when we had another paycheck, and let me show you guys my first and second paycheck spreads. I don't think I showed this in the last video, but I did miss one bill in my first paycheck, and since it was already all set up, I just wrote it down right here, but it was one for student loans. I hope you guys can see that. It was one for student loans. So that was $130.77. And this is what I stuffed my cash envelopes with, and then I have my sinking funds here, and these were my bills. And then second paycheck, I believe first paycheck I set that up with you guys on camera, but second paycheck I did not, and this is how this looks like. There were different bills, well, the same one for health insurance, and then gym membership, and my phone bill. And then we have the remaining cash envelopes. I didn't stuff every single one because last paycheck I had stuffed 1 or 2 of them fully, so I took that out, and I didn't stuff anything for gifts for this paycheck either. So that's that. Okay, so I'm actually going to go back and forth because I know that health insurance was the same amount. I mentioned that this number might be changing, and it has not changed yet, or at the time that Victor's paycheck came in. So that was the number that we budgeted. And then for gym membership, it's always the same, so there's no variance for any of these actually, because my phone bill was the same as well. So I'm going to write here $329.58. That's the total for our bills. And this is pretty much done. Okay, so let's go back to our weekly check-in. I do think I'm going to zoom out a little bit. First off, we're going to look at groceries. So I have a grocery expense for Target of $5.72 and one for Target of $32. So let me check these off as I go. As you guys can see, I went to Target and I have 3 different stickers, which means that I spent for groceries, for household, and for baby. So let's see, let's go back here. So $37.72 spent for groceries. And this was not a week where we stuffed envelopes, so everything just gets a dash there. Sorry, I'm missing one more right here for Amazon. I'm glad I caught that because sometimes I don't catch these things and someone ends up telling me, one of you guys. So good thing I caught that. So in total, I spent $47.67 and I had $139 remaining last week. So that means that I still had, or we still had $91.33, which is pretty crazy. I think the main reason that happened was because, I think I kind of mentioned it, but Victor hadn't really been at home since he was working on our house. We did get the house in the beginning of the month. I know I had mentioned in the last video, but just in case you only watched the October budget video, we did end up getting the house, but Victor's been working on it, so he really wasn't home. We didn't get to even go to the grocery store one of the weeks, so it makes sense that we have this amount remaining for groceries. And of course, whatever we have in groceries, we do not have anything out because we're over budget. Anyways, let's go on to eating out. For eating out, I just noticed that Sonic doesn't have a check mark, so let me just double check from the 13th until the 19th. Let me check really quick. No, yeah, I put eating out the $21 right there. I'm not sure why I didn't check that off, but okay. So ice cream was $12.50. And we have Wobble Grill, $15.31, Chick-fil-A, $14.06. I believe that was Victor and I because he got some food at work. And then $12.67 for McDonald's was our last eating out expense, which means that we spent $54 on eating out, and we were already over by $8.50. So that means that in total we were over by $63.04, which kind of adds up, or is less than what we have above for groceries, so that's good. But for our next category, which is gas, we did not pump, which is good, so I'm going to put 0 here. But we were over by $55 last week, so I'm just going to carry that over. Next, for household, we spent $33.98. And we had $53 last week. So that means that we still had $19.02. I will say that we did buy quite a bit of things for the house for whenever we move in, especially from like the Target, Circle Week, and Amazon Prime deals. But we didn't end up putting it as a household expense because we ended up taking it out of savings. It's things that we're going to need for the house, just bigger items like appliances and whatnot. So we just decided to take that out of savings rather than including it in this budget. So I did want to be transparent and kind of let you guys know about that. Next we have beauty, which guys, I never ended up going to get a pedicure this month. At the time that I'm filming this, I already have, which I'm happy about, but I did not spend anything for this. So it was really interesting that I did not buy anything. I had plenty of hair dye from like past months that I had stocked up on, so I didn't buy any of that. So I did not spend anything for beauty the whole month, which is kind of crazy. But once again, I did not have the car either because Victor was taking it to the house. So that's just what happens when you're at home and can't really go anywhere, I guess. So remaining we have 100 for beauty. I will say that I'm going to be rolling over this beauty amount to next month, and I'll show you guys how I'm going to do that, but that is what is going to happen with this. And then for baby, we have two expenses, one of $13.50 from Target. I think that was for his little Christmas pictures outfit. Oh my god, you guys. And then Amazon for $33.06, and that was for some noise cancellating earmuffs. So in total we spent $46.56, and we had $10 last week, so that means that we're over $36.56. And then I actually don't have this in here, but I did have it in budgeted expense this week because we had to pay for the Christmas pictures. We had already paid $80, I think last month, like a deposit for them. So we had to pay the other $200 for the pictures. So we did end up spending those $200 for Christmas pictures. I would love to in the future have a sinking fund specifically for like family pictures, but since we did not have that this year, it's just coming out of unbudgeted. So that means that we were $200 over this category since we don't budget anything for that, and that is definitely a lot of red marks. But it's okay. Now I'm going to finish up with the results here really quick, and then I'll go ahead and explain all of this. Okay, so I did go ahead and add something that I missed for week 4. We also had an unbudgeted expense of $25 for a gift. So instead of being $200, we were actually over by $225 in that category. And then I finished up with the results section. So when I don't have, well, some months will have 4 weeks, some months will have 5 weeks. So depending what kind of way you like to budget, I do include stickers like results, or if you peel it up, it'll say week 5. So I made this week 5 my results week. And what I end up doing here is just something that helps me out. It makes the process a lot faster whenever I have to close up my budget, is I go ahead and add how much I spent every single week per category, and then I'll write it down here, and then these numbers I'll bring with me when I close out my monthly budget spread. Now the remaining is the same as the last week, of course. This is just what kind of changes. So these are the total amounts I spent for these categories. So I'm going to come here now. All right, so now I'm going to bring those numbers once again that I added from my weekly check-in, and as you guys can see, it just makes the whole process go a lot smoother when I do the weekly check-ins and have those numbers instead of really having to scramble and look back and forth through pages. I already feel like I do that for the weekly check-in so that I save myself the trouble for this spread. So let's see, for groceries we spent $288.67. Eating out, we spent $323.04. Gas, we spent $255. I know I'm forgetting the variances right now, so I'll just start doing them right now. So that means that we were under by $91.33 for groceries. For eating out, we were over by $63.04. Gas, we were over by $55. Household, we spent $40.98. So that means we were under by $19.02. Beauty, I did not spend anything here. Actually, since I'm going to roll over this amount, I'm going to say that I used up the $100. That way I'm not counting for that money for those other categories that we were over for. So I'm going to put 100. And I've done this in the past, so if you guys are kind of confused, just stick with me and wait for my November like paycheck videos so you guys can get an idea of how I'm going to go about that. Next, haircut. Let's see. For haircut, Victor only got one haircut this month, so that was $45, so no variance there. For baby, we spent a total of $116.56, so we were over by $36.56. And then health insurance was the same amount, so $528.18. And then for unbudgeted is where we're going to put this $225 amount that we were not foreseeing. Actually, we should have been thinking about that, but I don't know what it was about the beginning of this month that we totally did not think about it, or maybe I thought that I could just take it out of savings, but I think it'd be better to just have it here, so then that way I kind of get an idea of how much I should be saving and a potential sinking funds for it in the future. So that is that, and now I'm going to go ahead and add all the actual numbers up. So we have 288.67, 323.04, 255, 40.98, 145, 116.56, 528.18, and 225, which brings us to a total of 1,922 with 43 cents. And I'm going to check with my variances here. We have 91.33 plus 19.02 minus our negative 63.04 minus 55 minus 36.56 and minus 225. That's 269.25. And I'm going to add the 1922.43 to this, which gives me the 1653.18. So everything adds up here. The 269.25 is what we are over with for this monthly budget, which, like I mentioned, a lot of these things I'm surprised that we weren't over, like groceries, household, and definitely beauty, but I do understand that I should probably not be so over these other categories. So it's a good thing that I have an idea of how much I spent for this month so that we can maybe change our numbers a little bit for November. So yeah, very happy that I was able to film this video on camera with you guys. And now I'm just going to finish this up. So for fixed expenses, forgot to write in the 1198.32. So that was our budgeted amounts. And now for our actuals, I'm going to put 1922.43 and the same number for fixed. And that is about as far as I'm going to get with this budget because I will be adding the income section after I'm done here. But I hope you guys get an idea of how I close out my monthly budget. Of course, this was not the best month ever, but this was the very first month that we went full force back with budgeting, and I'm excited to have all these numbers here together and in my planner. So yes, I don't think I have anything else to say, but thank you guys so much for watching once again. Don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoy watching budgeting videos from me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.